Sitting on the back porch, wishing it was bigger in my short shorts, working on my triggers and there ain't nothing nowhere for me to be. I'm by myself hanging out with me, and I don't want to write about my troubles, cut that train of thought, or you'll only make them double. Being still is the toughest for me to be, when I'm by myself hanging out with me, sitting on the back porch. When I was a little girl, I could be for hours in another world of emotions that devoured me. I thought maybe I was the only one to lose myself to my imagination. This is the same spot, I'm in the very same spot, looking for nowhere. Now that I'm a grown up, constantly invaded by the big stuff, a fight not to be jaded when your art always has to be monetized. It's your heart ending up being compromised just to stay alive. This is the same spot I've been looking for. This is the very same spot. Take me to nowhere. I miss being there. Sitting on the back porch, trying to relax in the outdoors, working out a track, and the cats in the yard don't know where to be, 'cause I'm out on the porch hanging out with me, and I'm not gonna stop till I disappear through the walls I put up around me in here. Gonna practice the art of vanishing into thin air. Here I come nowhere, sitting on the back porch. Yeah. Sitting on the back porch, trying to write a song that I don't mind, I don't mind, I don't mind. Yeah. Hello, thank you for listening today. This is Val. I wrote this song. I'm working on writing 50 songs this year, and some of them are going to be good and some of them are going to be crappy, and I think this one's pretty good. I do feel like I'm in a phase of my writing where, as I'm trying to be consistent with it, I have more ideas coming in that feel less like visceral and really highly inspired than some of my previous stuff, and I think that's just because I'm writing on a more regular basis. I have less drama in my life than I used to, so sometimes finding that thing to write about that feels like strong and brave and like it's really going to bring up intense imagery and strong feelings, that stuff just isn't gonna come as often. So that's kind of an interesting part of the process. I'm still kind of working through whatever feelings come up when I release these videos, and it's not quite to like a pristine finished level. I have to keep reminding myself that this is about process. This is about finding a flow and continuing to just move forward, focusing on the writing rather than like all of the other production aspects that I could be focusing on, the mixing and the mastering, and then making a pristine, fully thought out, conceptualized video, you know. On this particular one, I went with a lyric video just to try it. I don't super love lyric videos, but I like that it gives you the opportunity to really read what's being sung about. Another influence that's kind of poking its head in lately is I recently did I recently did a workshop with a casting director, a musical theater casting director in New York, and he was really talking about pop music versus musical theater music, and mostly been trained in musical theater, but also in opera and other genres. And what's kind of happening right now in the musical theater versus pop world is that there's kind of a melding of the two worlds. And so being able to show that you can really sing a pop vocal, be the pop feel, is really desirable in the musical theater business right now. Especially this casting director, just based on the things that he's working on. But it was really interesting to kind of get his insight that I can go further into that kind of pop genre where there are more interesting colors to my voice coming out, right? Allowing myself to be less pristine in my pronunciation and more free, and let myself, I don't know, maybe do a growl here and there, you know, stuff that's like that I thought I was already doing, right? So it's interesting to have gotten that feedback from him that I can go further into the pop level of things, and then also to be listening back to this where I want this to have kind of like a jazzy pop feel, kind of almost like funk, and to hear like, oh yeah, I do sound really clean. I sound really clean on everything. And just having two different parts of my brain, one that's like, well, that note's a little out of tune, and you could have said that word clearer, or people aren't going to understand that concept because you didn't finish that consonant, whatever. And then the other side of my brain that's like, it's not chill enough. It's too clean. You sound like super tight. And yeah, just kind of exploring a more nuanced level of what it means to do a different style. I've always considered myself someone who can do several different styles pretty well, but yeah, it's interesting to hear that feedback and then also have that show up in my work. What else? I'm feeling a little bit stressed this morning because I had a email back and forth with a student about billing and stuff, so I'm like little heightened. Thanks so much for watching. I just really appreciate the very small number of people who are hanging out here and chatting. This is not a part of the process that I'm like, I want thousands of eyes on it. And sometimes I feel like I want that as a like, oh, is it going well? You know, what we all feel when we post something to social media. But ultimately, this is a very messy, creative process where I'm figuring out what it looks like to be songwriting on a really regular basis, whereas in previous years it's just been when I had like a really strong idea would come and like overtake my body, and then I would write this song and it was like, this is so good. Yeah, this is just a totally different way of working, and I'm really enjoying it, and thank you for being part of it. As always, I'm still teaching all of this stuff and piano and voice. Not violin. I don't teach violin. That's mostly for fun to have on the wall. If you're interested in writing songs, I think I'm pretty good. And if you're coming from nothing, I can really help you learn. Check out the full song on my Patreon. That's where you can see everything. And if you want to support this process, I would absolutely love it. Would love to have you over there. So, all right. Have a good one. Bye.